I've got my Bible, got my coffee, we're ready to roll. Having a little Headbangers brew this morning, and you can get that, our great mugs, mug of the month. Give me the gospel, don't give me gimmicks. It's a mug, it's a t-shirt, it's a poster. And you can get all of our stuff right here. We are metal, we are family.com. Dear Pastor Bob, I thank God for your ministry. How can we pray for you? Well, I appreciate that. But I want to point something out here that I think is kind of important. It isn't my ministry. It's ours. You know, it belongs to all of us. You and I are in this together. We all have an integral part of it, and ministry, sharing the gospel, is something that you and I share together. So it isn't mine, it's ours. You know, so many Christians are in competition, and you see this all the time. I see this all the time, even in feeding the homeless. There are people who feed the homeless are kind of in competition with others who feed the homeless. Kind of silly, isn't it? Why don't we work together? Because we see the competition between churches and organizations, and, you know, we want to be better, we want to do more, we want to grow more, we want to have a bigger building. Seriously? Competition. Your ministry, my ministry, instead of his ministry. That's the perspective, isn't it? So, you want to pray? Thank you so much. And that means a lot to me. And I love this question, by the way. I love the question, but I want you to be mindful of the perspective here. How do you pray for our ministry? And how do you pray? Well, the first thing I always pray for is my involvement. Lord, what do you want me to do? What's my place in this? You know, even with our homeless ministry, there's a lot that we don't do because we just don't have enough people to do it. Resources we have. People we don't have. Workforce we don't have. We simply don't have people that go down and feed them. That all happened after we lost our position under the bridge, and now we don't have a real good place to serve. We kind of have to serve wherever the homeless are at. But we lost all of our volunteers. And I understand that it's more difficult. It's just an example, but I think a lot of people are going through this. For some reason, Christians are staying home from everything. You know, not just this ministry, for everything. Pray for your involvement. That's important. Whatever God's calling you personally to do. And then pray for God to direct our paths in wisdom and sensitivity. You know, that's the most important thing. Walking into a store and realizing there's somebody that's in distress who's actually shopping, and walking up to them and saying, can I pray for you? Engaging them in conversation so that you can possibly just be a friend. That's what some people need. Sensitivity, and then wisdom, what to say. Lord, how do you want me to handle this? You know, there's ministry everywhere. There's ministry all around us. Wherever you go, I'm always mindful of that. How can I minister to somebody today? And sometimes it's just saying good morning. Sometimes it's a smile when you see somebody in distress and saying good morning. And every time I see that stressful look on their face turn to a smile as they acknowledge, you know, my greeting. And then I would say pray as a team that we can make a significant impact in this world. Not just Pastor Bob, but all of us together. This is our ministry. It's his ministry. We share it with him. I want to turn today to Ephesians and chapter 4, starting with verse 11. It says, And his gifts were varied. He himself appointed and gave men to us, some to be apostles, special messengers, some prophets, inspired teachers and expounders, some evangelists, preachers of the gospel, or traveling missionaries, some pastors, shepherds of his flock, and teachers. His intention was the perfecting and the full equipping of the saints, his consecrated people, that they should do the work of ministering toward building up Christ's body, the church, until we all reach oneness in the faith and in knowledge of the Son of God, growing spiritually to become a mature believer, reaching to the measure of the fullness of Christ, manifesting his spiritual completeness and exercising our spiritual gifts in unity. See, it's not something we do apart from everyone. It's not my ministry, not your ministry. It's his ministry, which makes it our ministry. I love that. So folks, let's continue to pray for our ministry as we boldly go and touch people where no people have gone before, as we begin to touch those with sensitivity and wisdom who are around us, as we begin to be Christ's ambassadors, as it says here, in this earth that we live in. Well, folks, don't forget, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.